Hi, I'm Loren. My company is Intentional Acting. We work with actors who are tired of being passed over and they want to know what's holding them back and to find out and fix it so they can book more work now and build a career of being an in-demand actor. And what I do is focus on what are the techniques that will help you to book more work now and become an in-demand actor. And today I want to focus on where does this take place? Okay, this is part of my question number 1 of the 9 questions of intentional acting. And it's just one of the 4 parts of that question is where does this take place? It's super important, and I just find a lot of actors neglect it and a lot of casting directors too. In fact, I have a friend, Caroline Leam, she's a casting director, who it's one of her pet peeves is where something takes place. And she wants to be able to feel that and sense that and see that in your self-tape or in your audition. Well, how do you do that? You don't go, oh, I'm in a bar, I'm going to go tape inside of a bar, or oh, I'm in a hospital, I'm going to go tape inside of a hospital, or an operating room. And you don't do that thing, but you don't do that. But when you see it inside your own mind, when you know where you are and you experience where you are, that comes across on the tape. Best example of that is Dacre Montgomery, and he auditioned for Billy in Stranger Things, and you can see that audition online. And that audition is so good. It's 4 minutes, and you just can't take your eyes off of it. And you go, wow, now this is an example of an undeniable self-tape. So I always use that as a great example of an undeniable self-tape. But where is really clear, there's a scene in there where he is driving in a car. And he's not doing this thing, like I'm driving in a car and I see where we are. No, he's actually listening to 80s music, and he's got this feeling of like, I'm kind of dancing and being reckless in this car. And you can just sense it when he's doing this, and you feel the danger of that too, of like, I wouldn't want to be behind the wheel with this guy. And then there's a moment where he kind of dodges at this other car. He kind of plays, what is that, chicken with another car, and then the car goes sweeping by and he goes whoosh, he sees that. And it's so powerful because you feel like you're right there with him in the car. And that's a very clear where. And how he did that, not by showing you that he's driving a car or putting a car. So I've seen people sometimes do this in a car. None of that. It was by creating the experience. So he, in his own mind, for himself, which then translates telepathically to our audience. And he did that by thinking, what do I see, hear, smell, touch, taste? So this is question number 3 of my 9 questions, which is what is the experience of the scene? And so that in his mind is so clear what he's seeing. It's so clear what he's hearing. This music, it's so clear what his intention is, what he wants to do to this other car and make the other people in the car with him, what he wants them to feel. All of that is so specific and so clear. And so to do that, like in acting, I talk about how do you do that. So you start by looking at look at the sides, and it should say INT dot and a place and time of day. Generally it will say that, or EXT, which means interior, exterior, and where this takes place. And then often it tells you what time of day. And so getting really clear so making sure A, you're matching what the script asks for, and B, that you clearly deliver that, and that's clear in your mind. And so it might say night, it may say day, but I'm going to encourage you to even think about, well, what time of day is it? What kind of day is it? Because the more specific it is in your mind, if it's a snowy, dark day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, what is that like versus a snowy, dark night at midnight? They're different feelings. And all I have to do is like, what is that experience? And put myself back there and think about, what do I see? What do I hear? What do I smell? What do I taste? What do I feel? And the different times of day and how that affects you, okay? Sometimes in the script it doesn't say interior, exterior, and it doesn't give you a time of day, but it's intimated, it's in the story as you're reading through the script. It might say or they're having dinner. It may say something else. So be clear as you read through the scripts, because so often I see that actors will, if they don't see the interior and the exterior and the scene description at the top, they're like, I don't know where it is. But read it and think about it. And if you don't see any of that, which happens sometimes, decide. Make a decision, make a choice, and make it super clear to yourself where you are. Because that's all we really need, is we need that specificity, and then the audience watching you and the casting director can decide, but they can feel it when it's not specific and you don't know where you are. You don't know what time of day it is, and you don't know what you're doing. So where is really, really important in your auditions, and creating that sense and that feeling in your self-tape by you experiencing it, by you deciding where you are, who you're with, what time of day it is, and being super specific. Another one is, like I did that earlier in this, I was talking about you're in a hospital. Well, inside a hospital is vague. That's not specific. Where in the hospital? Are you in the ER? Are you in the ER waiting room? Are you in the ER room? Are you in a surgery? Are you in a patient room? Are you in the receptionist in the lobby? Are you in the flower shop? Where are you specifically in that hospital? And if it doesn't say, it just says interior hospital day, then read more to see where does it clearly say that you are. Well, going under the knife, okay, they're in surgery, or decide, or just decide. So there's a real key. Go ahead, go back and look at your self-tapes, look at your work, and always stop and think, where am I? What time of day is it? What is the experience of this? And make sure you're putting that in your self-tapes and in your auditions. Now, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Let me know. I'll be happy to check back and see how I can help you. And good luck!